Greetings everyone and welcome back to the all-new The Stealth Channel.
While many smaller countries are jumping on the 5th-generation fighter bandwagon, the world's major powers are moving on to the 6th generation of fighters. Let's check out the 6th-generation fighters that are currently in development. The Boeing F-47 was the winner of the manned aircraft component of the U.S. Air Force's Next Generation Air Dominance program. It beat out a rival bid from Lockheed Martin in March 2025. Northrop Grumman had previously withdrawn from the program voluntarily to concentrate on other opportunities, presumably the U.S. Navy's 6th-generation fighter, the FAXX. The F-47 will succeed the Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor as the premier fighter in the U.S. Air Force inventory and will address a number of the F-22's shortcomings, particularly its short range and lack of an infrared search and track sensor. The U.S. Air Force has stated that Boeing's NGAD X-plane technology demonstrator had been flying since 2019 and had already set performance records. This experimental aircraft may have been spotted over Area 51 in June 2026. The F-47 will be the centerpiece of the U.S. Air Force's manned-unmanned teaming system, which will include unmanned drones currently in development and testing under the Collaborative Combat Aircraft program. The first F-47 prototype was reported to have begun construction in September 2025 at Boeing's St. Louis, Missouri plant. The aircraft's first flight is scheduled for 2028. It has been previously reported that the aircraft's initial operational capability is scheduled for 2032. China surprised most military aviation observers when the Chengdu J-36 was first spotted flying near Chengdu Aircraft Corporation's aircraft plant on December 26, 2024. This large, tailless delta-shaped aircraft garnered much attention both for its size and its unusual use of 3 engines. This led many to speculate that it was intended as a long-range fighter bomber designed to counter U.S. Navy aircraft carriers. However, the second prototype showed some design changes, which included 2-dimensional thrust vectoring nozzles as opposed to the first prototype's exhaust troughs. This would seem to indicate that the J-36 is intended to be able to dogfight with Western fighters. In June 2026, the J-36 was spotted flying with 2 GJ-11 Loyal Wingman drones. There is no known timeline for operational introduction of this aircraft into the People's Liberation Army Air Force. The U.S. Navy's 6th-generation FAXX fighter is intended as a replacement for their current 4th-generation Boeing FA-18EF Super Hornets, which are rapidly wearing out. The FAXX is also intended to complement the U.S. Navy's current 5th-generation fighter, the Lockheed Martin F-35C Lightning IIs aboard U.S. Navy aircraft carriers. The program has been hit with numerous delays in recent years by Pentagon officials over the cost of developing 2 6th-generation fighters simultaneously, as well as industrial capacity concerns. Boeing and Northrop Grumman have both pushed back against these concerns and have assured the government that they can build the aircraft if selected. However, the program is finally moving forward due to pressure from top U.S. Navy officials in the U.S. Congress. Northrop Grumman released an official rendering of their aircraft as part of a public relations push to get the program moving forward in early August 2025. Boeing followed suit in late August 2025. Both companies are competing for the contract, which is due for down select in August 2026. The U.S. Navy had previously eliminated Lockheed Martin from the competition in March 2025, citing that its design didn't meet the program's criteria. In June 2026, the governments of France and Germany canceled the planned next-generation fighter component of the Future Combat Air System that was under development by France, Germany, and Spain, and had targeted an in-service date of 2040. France's Dassault and Germany's Airbus squabbled over the last couple of years over work share, technology transfer, and leadership in the program. More recently, they have been at odds over the type of aircraft to be designed. France needs a fighter capable of carrying nuclear weapons and carrier-capable version for their next-generation aircraft carrier, the France Libre. It would be a replacement for France's 4th-generation Rafale, which currently fulfills both roles. Germany needs neither of these requirements. Instead, they need a long-range interceptor to replace the Eurofighter Typhoon. Spain has a similar requirement to Germany's. In the aftermath of the cancellation, France has indicated that it is willing to go it alone on the next generation fighter. However, there has been recent talk of India possibly being brought aboard as a partner. India also operates the French Rafale. India has similar operational and future requirements needs to France, so it may turn out to be a good partnership. As for Germany, they are currently examining a few options. These include buying more F-35 fighters from America as a bridge solution, joining the British-Italian-Japanese Global Combat Air Program, developing an independently designed aircraft under the recently announced Team Gen 6 initiative, or possibly collaborating with Sweden's Saab, whose own 6th-generation fighter program is in early development. Sweden's 6th-generation fighter efforts are led by Saab. The program was originally conceived under the Flag System 2020 program, which is intended to develop a successor to the 4th-generation Saab JS-39 Gripen. The program then evolved into a family of systems, similar to America's next-generation air dominance program under the Konceptet Framtidens Stridsflyg program. Sweden is aiming for a 2035 in-service date. Germany has listed cooperation with Sweden on this effort as one of their alternatives after the demise of the next-generation fighter. The Global Combat Air Program is a multinational effort between Britain, Italy, and Japan to develop a 6th-generation fighter. The program merged the efforts of British Aerospace's Tempest and Mitsubishi's FX Godzilla programs. The Global Combat Air Program is intended to replace the 4th-generation Eurofighter Typhoon in Britain and Italy and the 4th-generation Mitsubishi F2 in Japan. Unlike the next-generation fighter, the Global Combat Air Program is working well. The program has targeted an in-service date of 2035. The three nations formed the multinational consortium Eurowing to build the plane in December 2024. After the demise of the next-generation fighter, the CEO of Italy's Leonardo said Germany would make a perfect partner for the program. Britain and Italy have expressed an openness to export the aircraft to other countries, while Japan has been hesitant due to legal issues involving its constitution. Russia has stated that the Mikoyan MiG-41 PAK-DP is intended to be a replacement for the aging 4th-generation Mikoyan MiG-31 Foxhound long-range interceptor. They have made wild claims about its intended specifications, including a speed of Mach 4 and an operational ceiling of 164,000 feet. All of these features combined would preclude the MiG-41 from being a standard 6th-generation fighter like its international contemporaries. This widely distributed artwork, attributed as a MiG-41 concept, does not in any manner reflect Mikoyan's description of the MiG-41. In addition to the Chengdu J-36, a second 6th-generation fighter design was seen flying for the first time on December 26, 2024, this time near the Shenyang Aircraft Corporation's facility. The J-50 is a tailless aircraft with a lambda wing design and two-dimensional thrust vectoring nozzles. Its smaller size in comparison to the J-36 suggests that the J-50 is intended to be utilized aboard Chinese aircraft carriers. 3 prototypes are known to be flying. An in-service date is currently unknown.